think of pirates, and you automatically think of skull and crossbones walking the plank, and of course, treasure. Modern-day piracy, perhaps a little less fantastical. But just a decade ago, the problem exploded off the coast of Puntland, northwestern Somalia. In 2008, well over 100 boats attacked by pirates. Just 1 year later, well, that number had doubled, with nearly 50 boats actually seized. One of the triggers, illegal and unregulated fishing. Local fishermen angry that nothing was being done to confront foreign trawlers. They became organised and did the job themselves. In holding foreign fishing crews hostage, they stumbled across an easy way to make money. In the end, world powers coming together to try to tackle the problem.
Somalia, unfortunately, has been almost lawless state during the last 18 years. It's very important at this time we devote whole time and energy on restoring peace and stability, rule of law, human rights, and also in parallel with that, economic and social recovery.
Eventually then, a response with an EU naval force that aimed to regain control. The problem, though, has not gone away. The Aris 13 oil tanker and 8 Sri Lankan crew captured and held hostage in 2017. Only freed, in fact, after a gun battle and intense negotiations. Puntland also facing now other threats. The Al-Shabaab jihadist group, which had pledged allegiance to Al-Qaeda, more and more active. So how is the region coping with its problems? Well, Thais Brooke and Duncan Woodside revisit Puntland for France 24.
Bosaso, Puntland's commercial nerve centre. 10 years ago, awash with pirate money. Nowadays, a relatively stable gateway to northern Somalia. 25,000 ships pass off the coast here every year. The port and fishing fuel the local economy. Each morning, nets are brought to shore on small boats like these. Marlin, tuna, swordfish, shark meat. There's a rich variety, even if numbers are in decline. Dahir used to dive for lobsters.
I lost my leg when I was diving. I got attacked by a shark. It was a white shark, and it took my lower leg off in one bite. I got quickly rescued by my fellow diving mates and got rushed to the hospital.
But the biggest complaint of fishermen is that foreign trawlers, some licensed by the government, others not, are taking most of the fish.
We have suffered a lot from all these foreign ships. A lot, a lot. The foreign ships, they come and steal our fish. What they do is steal our nets.
I agree with him. And another problem I would like to add is the poison, the waste that they throw away in the sea. And this lasted for the entire period when we had no central government.
Foreign trawlers even destroy local boats. So vessels stay close to each other at sea, watching each other's backs. Sometimes that strategy saves lives.
It was night. I was sleeping. They came past in the night time. We didn't realize until the ship was there. He crashed into the boat next to us. So I ran to help them and left the fishing equipment and ran off. Most probably, they did it on purpose.
Illegal fishing was one of the triggers for the piracy crisis that exploded off the coast here nearly a decade ago. Angry fishermen pooled resources and bought weapons to confront foreign trawlers, holding crews hostage. And they quickly found they could make money, a lot of it. In 2008, Mohammed, nicknamed Warabe, joined what was by then a massive industry.
The reason I went out to sea was that I had seen people do it, and they were making money. I wasn't, and I decided not to beg anymore.
Warabe prepared well. buying weapons in Yemen. But his piracy career wasn't a success.
We were a group of 11 guys. We went out to sea, and in our first attempt to take a boat, we failed. But the second time, we took over a ship, but we were attacked.
Warabi and his crew came under attack from international forces. 9 of his 11 crew died. He was one of 2 rescued, his bullet wounds treated by the attackers. Now he's gone back to fishing. Nothing, he says, would tempt him back to piracy. With the deployment of international naval forces, piracy declined massively. But a spate of new hijackings last year shows it hasn't completely disappeared. Sarath is a former hostage. Chief engineer on the MV Orna, a cargo boat, he was kidnapped with 18 shipmates in October 2010. His captors initially demanded $12 million. Sarath appears on the right here.
They took our 6 people and they wanted us to be stripped, but we remove all the clothes. Then they asked us to lie down, then they tie up our hands and legs and start beating like a hell because all the anger on our body.
A prisoner for close to 2 years, Sarath didn't rest for long after being freed. He took a job with the United Nations. Here, in Somalia, of all places. In Bosaso, the UN is training coast guards from across Somalia. The students improve their navigation skills, first aid, seafaring terminology, and Sarath teaches them marine engineering.
From the beginning, I was thinking, how could I participate against this human trade? This is the best offering that I got. So I do my level best. To stop this piracy.
But the most powerful local marine outfit here is the Puntland Maritime Police Force, funded by the United Arab Emirates. The Admiral gives a quick briefing to his men.
Most likely the people we will come head-to-head with, the guys on the sea, they could be fully equipped and prepared with guns, weapons. So we're going to sail towards Yemen. And then we will take a slight right turn.
The Puntland Maritime Police Force began work 7 years ago. While piracy has receded, other threats have risen, chiefly Al-Qaeda affiliate Al-Shabaab, and now also the Islamic State. And the crisis in Yemen has caused trafficking to surge.
We capture weapons, ships smuggling humans, and ships suspected of piracy. That's what we encounter. Yes, at times we suffer deaths, and there are injuries. They do fight. Sometimes they surrender. That's how it is.
Patrols take place several times a day. Even the smallest boats are checked. The crew's attention is diverted.
Maybe some problem. We will go there now. Maybe some problem.
A huge fire has claimed this ship and millions of dollars in cargo. Another patrol has already been as close as the extreme heat will allow.
The ship is burning.
Have you seen any people?
We patrolled and looked around but didn't see any.
No, who are they?
There's nobody. No, not that we can find.
We're going to go. We'll join the other boat to see if they found anyone.
Some crew members have been rescued by another cargo ship. They're transferred to the port police.
We've got 2 injured crew. We'll take them to the harbor. You fetch the rest of the crew.
Okay.
We learned later that 2 members of the stricken cargo ship didn't make it out alive, and the fire was caused by an engine fault. The biggest threats in Puntland are now on land, especially for the security forces and foreigners who need armed protection. This checkpoint controls all road traffic coming in and out of Bosaso. Al-Shabaab is a constant threat and attacked this position in October last year, killing at least 7 people, including 3 police officers. Vehicles are searched for suspects and weapons, laboriously at times.
They hide things everywhere, among the tools, in the driver's cabin, and even under the vehicles. We had an incident towards the end of last year when we found some explosives.
There is also a small but growing Islamic State presence. They hide out in mountains just to the east of Bosaso.
We concentrate on both enemies, Al-Shabaab and ISIS. Last week, we caught around 6 Shabaab members. They were traveling in a big truck. We stopped it and searched it. And they were hiding under the bed, which is at the back of the driver's seat. We arrested all of them and the driver.
At night, the risk of ambush rises. So there's a curfew on road travel.
When night falls, we close the checkpoint. Some of these guys go to that pole over there and set up a defensive line. We set several defensive lines, and the troops are spread all over the area.
To help reduce the lure of piracy and extremism, the international community works within displaced communities. We've come to one of several on the edge of Bosaso. Home to tens of thousands of people, this camp sprang up when the central government collapsed in Mogadishu in 1991. Mother to 11 kids, Hawa settled here as a child.
I came here when Somalia's civil war started. I've been here for 25 years. This place is stable and secure, with no problems.
Repeated cycles of conflict and a series of devastating droughts mean people continue to arrive here, their livestock lost along the way. To provide alternative incomes, the UN is developing an onshore fish processing industry.
Far better off to give a youth a job than a gun. There is absolutely no doubt. And the thing is, I think our biggest fight against extremism is creating employment. Is people need to see that the international community is actually providing something for youth, that they have a future.
Hawa and her friends are learning the basics of handling fish.
Show me the knife. Look. You see this one here? Maya. Maya. On there. Slowly on here, in here, in here, and all clean.
They cut, dry and package the fish for sale throughout Somalia.
Before I started this program, I assumed it was a big wage, but it's not actually as much as for the cleaning. But I'm doing it because it's an opportunity to develop my skills. I'm not focusing on the money. I'm focusing on the skills. And I hope I can use my skills in the future.
The programme aims to create thousands of jobs and guarantee a local consumer market for fish. But even as Bosaso grows and trade flourishes, day-to-day life remains a struggle for most people here. Anger over illegal fishing, alongside corruption and clan rivalries, will continue to generate space for radicals to exploit, away from the main mosques, behind closed doors, and in the bush.
Thais Brooke and Duncan Woodside revisiting Puntland for France 24. Well, that's all from this week's edition. Don't forget, of course, you can catch it again and all the previous editions as well. That's on our website at france24.com. More news coming up. Thanks for watching.